Okay, I ordered some 632 set screws for the gib adjustments screws, and also be the lock screw too on the slides. So that's what we're going to do today. Is we're going to put in the gib adjustment screws, and then we're going to cut some brass for them and get them ready. And then after that, if I get that far, mount the cross slide plate onto the saddle. And or do I want to do some lathe work? I got a choice. I could do some lathe work and do the feed screws on those also. There's 4 feed screws that I need to do. So I got some single pointing to do. But anyway, first off is the 632 gib adjustment screws that I'm going to put in those. So let's get over here and get at it. And hopefully I got everything lined up so we don't have to go hunting. So get the camera lined up here. All right, so first off I want to figure out which side I want to put the gib adjustments in. It'll be over here on this side. Reason is this will be the side where the feed handle goes, and I want it to the right of the feed handle, so this will be the side. Take that out, put that in here, and we'll clamp that up. And get a parallel here. And put the parallel in here to clamp it. Okay, do I want to go up against the stop or not? Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna have to put a parallel on the bottom then. If I do that, either that or I'll move the stop. If I can find the right Allen wrench. So I am hunting for something. An Allen wrench. I had picked the right one right away. Believe it or not. Alright, move that up there. These don't have to be exact on the X, but they should be kind of close. It'd be nice to have them pretty close to the same. So I'll push it over that way. Now I'll put this back in here. Okay. Now I'm going to pick up this back edge and then pick up this edge, and then we'll come over and we'll put the screws in. And I'll have to crank the table down here, crank the knee down so I can get a chuck in there. Windier and windy outside. Windier and crap. Okay, so here's where I want to put the holes. I want to put one right there, one right there, and then the lock screw hole. Probably put it right here. Yeah, I think that looks like the plan to me. I'm gonna get my edge finder out. Half-inch collet. All right. I'm going to pick up the end first. Pick up this end. I really wouldn't have had to pick up the end. I could have just moved over to my dot where I think I want to put it. Right there. Zero my X. Well, it's an incremental. Go to absolute. Zero my X. And then I'm going to just crank over to where I think I want it. Right about where that dot was, right there. 750. All right, I'm going to write these numbers down. I'm going to write them down. So the first one is 750. And I could either pick up this edge or that, or the front edge. I'm just going to pick up the front edge here. Oops, why am I moving? I don't want to move off 750. I'm going to leave it there. All right. Come down. We'll come in and touch. Right there. Zero my Y. Move in 100. And then zero it. And then move in 125. That's 250 material. 250 stock. Well, 125. Right there. Get that out. Put my heat shrink casing over it. That's all this is, a piece of heat shrink that keeps the end from touching anything. Well, it's in my toolbox. Otherwise, it would run the battery down. Then I'd come to want to use it and it'd be, how come it ain't working? I've got a frog in my throat again today. You know what's weird? When I used to work, when I was working, every year I would be sick at Christmas time, and then a couple months later be sick again, and two or 3 months later sick again, all because the yay-ho that I worked with, he'd come to work sick. It never failed. Now, since I've been retired, how many times have I had a cold, the flu, or anything? I don't remember any. So that tells you right there that where I was getting my bug from. He'd always say, why waste a perfectly good sick day, when I tell him to stay the hell home? Why waste a perfectly good sick day when I'm sick? He'd like to use his sick days for vacation days. Extended vacation. He was a piece of work. He was a piece of work. And she's going to take the little cheerleader.
He tried to get in the truck. Look, he tried to get in the truck.
Oh. Bye-bye. You'll probably go outside because it's sun shining and there's no wind on that side of the house. No wind on the east side of the house. West side, you don't want to be out there. Okay, I was going to start making the end plates that go on here. Got the material cut out. I made the shims for the sides already, and what I did was slide this out. I'll slide it out that way. Drop it. What I did was I put a chamfer on the edge here, put a little notch in, it's gonna focus, come on, focus. It's trying to focus on the vise instead of my hand. Maybe now. Okay, I put a little notch on this end. Just a little one to fit down in the chamfer, and then on the other side I just folded it over. And the reason the little notch on that end is because that plate goes on there and everything has to fit flush on this end. So that is why I did it that way. It doesn't stick up above. And I can put that plate right on there. Put the plate right on. So we're going to work on the steel plates. About the sizes just written down here. Put these over here somewhere. Get knocked on the floor. And put this brass shim away. Pieces. I saved those. Might need them someday. Alright. So now, the big ones are 2.5 by 687. Okay, what I've decided to do is just to scribe them out for these angles. So I'll take that vice stop off. I can find the Allen wrench. Take that off. We'll just put some scribe marks on. What I'm going to do is just take the black magic marker here. Marking the edges. So I can see the marks. Alright. Cut those out. Take this parallel away. Now, what we'll take and put the marks on there. First off is the center mark. We'll go to the center, and these are 2.5 inches, so 1 inch 250. And we'll put that mark on there. Go from both sides, that way I can see that if it's a true center or not. Alright, now side mark here is one half inch. 1.5 inch. Caliper's 2.5 inch. Put that mark on both sides. Same thing with the other one. All right. So now, what we're going to do to line them up. If I can get you over here a little closer to the vise so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to use one of the small ones for, and we're going to put it in here. And we're going to put one of these small ones up here, and we're going to line up the scribe marks. So it will be there, there. Let me get my scale to hold it up. It's about 8.5 degrees is what it is. Not working so well. I'll just try sticking it out here. And I'll just put one in here like that to hold it. And we need 3 hands. There's the mark. And there's the mark. Right there. Okay, I got the marks lined up. So now I should be able to just mill that down to the marks. And we should be in business. Until it just breaks where the mark is at. That looks pretty good right there. Okay. See, that's why I laid this in here so that the finish would be a 125 above that. And that looks pretty close. Not quite on the mark, but darn close. So now I'll take and knock the burr off. To that side. I'll do the same thing again. Got that up there. We're gonna have to go to the other side though, because otherwise I can't. Well, I might be able to hold on to it. No, I can't hold on to it that way. So we'll go to the other side. Put the spacer in over there. And we'll do the same thing here. Slide that up there. There's the mark on this side. Right there. Should almost be that same height. I'll drop it all. Okay. Get the burr off of it. All right. Now, let's see what it looks like. It's going to overhang. It should overhang down below the vise here, or vise, the slide. Look at that. That looks pretty good. You know, it actually could be a little lower, but that's okay. So now, the next step will be to try to drill those holes in and clamp it somehow. I think if I want the top flush and the sides flush. Try to figure out a way of holding that, or just put them in dimensionally. Put it in the two-dimensionally on the, and then put two screws in it.